What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Ham Radio Crash Course. Welcome to Saturday. We're going to have a lot of fun out there today. We're going to be doing a little live CW practice, but along with that, we're going to talk about how you can do this all at home. There will be some hardware, some kits that you might actually want to buy and play around with. I think they're a lot of fun, but if you don't want to go that route, we're going to talk about some software titles that you can download, and that's what we'll be playing with today. Also, a little bit of practical examples of what you can do when you're out there just having fun with your ham radio. And enjoy these memes. These are coming straight out of the Ham Radio Crash Course Discord for the slappening, I guess is what we're calling it. I don't know if that's its name, but great job, great creativity, everybody there on the Ham Radio Crash Course Discord on the memes section. Buddy Stick Pro. Buddy Stick Pro is BSP. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ham Radio Crash Course. Thanks so much for coming back again for another week of fun. Today is really just going to be a hanging out episode. We're going to do some practical CW practice. We're going to do some practical CW practice. How's that sound? All right. Get out a piece of paper and a pen. We will be doing this live, so play along with us. That's kind of the fun of all this. We'll be talking about some software as well. There should be most links in the description, but I've got a couple of new links that I wanted to mention, kind of remembered before going live. And I will give a shout out. It looks like Sterling is in the house, N0SSC. Definitely go check out Sterling's channel. He did a long, protracted CW Morse code practice, I think almost daily at some point he was doing. Quite a lot of videos on his process for becoming more proficient in Morse code. I think it was a lot of fun. I definitely tuned in a couple of times he was doing it. It was really cool. So, whatever you do, don't listen. Well, just because he might not have grown immensely during his time, I think his methods are sound. A lot of methods that we talk about for learning Morse code will work for some people, but it won't work for all people. There is no one way to do any problem, and Morse code is no exception. In fact, I would argue that it is less likely that there is going to be any one way to learn Morse code. But the good news is that we live in a world now where there's like so many different ways of learning it. So we'll definitely be talking about that as we go along. And I have to turn down my KX2 because something's throwing some interference at it. All right, I am drinking a beer today. I saw this at Trader Joe's, and I had to get it. This is Bunny with a Chainsaw Hazy India Pale Ale. This is a double dry hopped India Pale Ale. Bunny with a chainsaw. So there you go. I thought that was too good to pass up. And having a sip of it, it's okay. It's an IPA. What do you want? What do you want from me? All right, couple of things to mention before we kick things off. Reminder, if you want to help support the channel, go check out hamtactical.com or just consider joining us as a member here on YouTube or Patreon. We've got special perks for some of those folks, like being able to see the videos early before they release. Speaking of which, I already have a video out there for Monday that's going to drop among some of the shirts that we have at hamtactical.com if you want as well. This weekend, keep an ear out, if you will, for We4DX Long Beach Scramble 2022. They are going to be activating multiple parks, and some of them are even twofers. So make sure you're following We4DX or just keep an eye out on the POTA Spots website so you can find out where they're going to be activating from and be able to go that way. Something not pink. Let's see. Good evening. I've started hunting CW POTA activators. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, Dave, we'll be talking a little bit about that. I agree completely. Also, keep in mind, everybody, I am watching the chat room, so if you at me, Ham Radio Crash Course, at Ham Radio Crash Course with a question as we're going along, I will take it and try to answer it as we go. This is going to be back to the roots a little bit of the Ham Radio Crash Course live streams, if you remember what those were like back in 2018, 2019, where we kind of just got on here and chatted. I've definitely noticed over the last 2 years specifically the increase in like wanting to get like really focused content, particularly on the live streams, because I would get comments from people like, get to the point already. Why won't you just get to the point? It's like, well, it's supposed to be fun. It's supposed to be a show. But I have tried to tighten the aperture a bit of the content. Today, though, is going to be a little bit more fun. We're just going to have fun. Let's see. Don mentions next week is Texas State Parks on the air. Okay, there we go. Is that? Yeah. So let me go over here for a second. There we go. Thanks, Don, for that bit of update. I don't know why this chat room's all screwed up, but I can fix that real quick. Thank you, Don, for that. All right. The first thing I'll mention is the Long Island CW Club. Make sure you go and join them. I appreciate, I just got done saying that there is no one method for getting proficient in Morse code. I do agree with that. But this goes beyond that. This is both a method for learning Morse code, and it's also a ham radio club where they do talks beyond that of what you would expect in just learning Morse code. They're extremely active. 75 classes a week is what they do. That means pretty much any time, even if you're international, you can find a class on learning Morse code. And the titles of things vary greatly. So, you know, I'm not affiliated with the Long Island CW Club. I just really respect what they're doing, and I think they have a very good method. Again, a method that works with a lot of folks, but not everybody. If you check out tomorrow, they have, look how many classes they have tomorrow. Beginners 1, Morsel Use Group, which we're going to talk about the Morsel today, the Antenna Forum, Good Fist Sending, the Buddy Program, the LICW Movie Club, which I don't even know what that is. I may have to check into that. The Beginners 1, 3D Printing 101, right? Obviously, this goes beyond Morse code. Beginner 2, K1 USN SST, which is the slow speed contest, and 12 words per minute CW training. That's just for Sunday, right? That's their entire week. It's a great club. And so the cost to join is club dues. That's all it is. So check that out. The link is in the description. It's highly recommended with that regard. What else? Here's something I stumbled on. Morsel. It is a really cool online, you know, obviously online. It's a website that basically updates once a day. And what it'll do is it'll start playing you a word at 40 words per minute. And you get 21 chances to answer the word, the 5 characters. It's always 5 characters. And it'll start to decrease the words per minute speed until you can actually copy the word or not copy the word. I can play this right now for all of us. So let me put some ears in. Let me grab some other ears. I didn't like listening with those. I already did today's, so I don't know if this is actually going to be the same, but let's give it a shot. Yeah, I think I already got this one. Did everybody get that? Somebody want to venture a guess? We're playing it. I already answered this one, so I won't answer. But, oh, and you won, you got it. Water. Yeah, I got it. And you won, you nailed it. Good job. I don't know if he already got his morsel for the day, but make sure you go to morsel.fun. Morsel.fun, and I will copy that and post it in the chat room. So do that every day and start building some words per minute strength. That'll be a fun way to go. So there you go. That's in the chat now. Water, drink more Ovaltine. That's right. That's the other thing it was saying for sure. The da-dit was the part that helped me out. I was like, how many things end in ter that are 5 characters long? Not a whole lot. All right, in your own time, we're going to be using this today, but it's something that you should definitely just install on your computer. It's a free piece of software. It's called G4FON. Let's go back to the homepage here. Unfortunately, the creator of this has passed away. Ray has become a silent key as of July 29th, 2021, but his software's still out there, and it works exactly as expected for what you want to do. See, G4FON, think should be linked in the description. But it's a simple, lightweight piece of software. In fact, I'll bring it up right now. We will be using it here shortly, and I'll show you how to set it up. This is literally what it looks like right here. You can give it word lists. You can have it play popular words. You can have it do call signs, which is something that I'm working with to add to my proficiency in getting ready for going to do a POTA activation, activating with Morse code. So I highly recommend that. Couple of things. Let's see. What's the other one? Wrong one. There we go. The other thing I'll mention, Morse Code Ninja. So Morse Code Ninja has a really cool website. It is morsecode.ninja. And if you go to practice here, you can see this is a pretty fast way to get to all of his content. He has a number of YouTube videos that run through different types of Morse code. It's broken up by 15 to 50 words per minute practice. So if you go to, say, 20 words per minute here, and in my case, I want call signs. Call signs are the things that I'm working with right now. So we're going to go down to 5 character call signs, click that, and it brings up his page. Pretty easy. In fact, it goes a step further than that, too. Hopefully I didn't lose my place there. There we go. Let's scroll down here a bit. If I remember correctly, what I like to do is pull up his RSS feeds. Yeah, so right here. So there's a podcast, and again, links in the description for this. You point your RSS feed or whatever browser you run for podcasts to the RSS feed for whichever words per minute you want. In this case, 20 words per minute is what I've been using. You copy that in, and you can go through and get all those recordings that was just playing on the YouTube on your phone, which makes things pretty easy and pretty handy. So I would recommend you take a look at that as well. These are just the things to get things started, guys. Don't worry, we're going to do a little bit more than this. And here's another thing that I discovered. We'll play around with this at the end of the live stream. Ruffs XP, and I'm sure I'm not pronouncing that correctly. It's a German application. It is ruffsxp.net, which I'll drop the link in the chat. This is like a competition call sign copying software. The goal here with this application is it will give you a call sign in, I think it starts extremely high words per minute. And if you get it right, it increases the speed. And if you get that right, it increases the speed. And if you get it wrong, it decreases the speed. And it just goes back and forth like that, right? That's kind of how this works. Really also lightweight program, which I'll show you here as we get through the stream. But interesting one, really interesting one that I learned about recently. And then, of course, this is probably a little bit outside practice, but what a lot of people would tell you when you're getting started in Morse code is to actually make contacts on the air. And being a POTA chaser is a fantastic way to get a lot of experience under your belt. The exchange is relatively straightforward. The only thing you really have to worry about is making sure that you're following the routine, the normal exchange information that we do, which goes a little bit beyond just signal strength. It's not just 5NN, 5NN, which you can do. You oftentimes have to say like RR, thank you, and then or TK, UR, and then give the signal report 5NN, 5NN if you want to do that, and then like the 2 characters for whichever state you're in. If you'd like a good example of what to do, what the exchange is for Parks on the Air, go check out K4SWL's channel, Thomas Witherspoon. He has a whole video on what the exchange is for Parks on the Air. So that makes things a little bit easy. And don't worry about that. That's for another video that I'm working on. So let's talk about some physical types of devices, and then we'll come back for some software. So we're looking at a beer can. Oh, and the chat's wrong here. What happened to that? That's not good. So we're looking at a couple of items that we're going to talk about that I've used them predominantly for, when I'm at home trying to brush up on Morse code, not really that proficient yet. I would argue that the one of the items is going to be for more beginners. The Morseino, on the other hand, is going to be a little bit better for those of you that are a little bit further along. So let me slide over here. Let me grab my beer along with me. Yeah, beer cans on the air. That's right. All right, let's slide on over. Okay, so the two items we're going to talk about are the Morseino and the QRP Guys KD1JV. This is a random character Morse code output tool and a code oscillator tool. So let's take a look at what that means. This is a kit. It's a real simple kit too. We'll start out with this KD1JV unit right here. It has a connection for an iambic paddle or a straight key or a bug. It doesn't matter which you want to use. And it has jumpers here for when you're doing code practice if you want to change from forward to reverse for the way your paddle works. You just jump these jumpers the other way. It has an output and a volume control and an on-off switch, and then there's a faster, slower button, and then a function button. Pretty straightforward. How this works is turn this on, boop, plug it into a speaker, or I often use headphones, but I'm demonstrating this live, so flip it on. It's an easy kit to build. It'll give you a P to start off, dit, dot, dot, dit, and you hold down the function button for 1 second. It'll pause, and then it'll keep going. That's pretty much what that does. Stop. Herbie's gone bananas. All right, hold on. Let me turn that off for a second. Okay, so that's how that works on the receive side. It's doing a pseudo-random playing of 5 characters. It includes punctuation, letters, and numbers. You just get random characters thrown at you, which is not bad at all. I mean, to start. It's not going to give you call signs. It's not going to give you common English words, but it is, tiny. It's an absolute tiny little boy. The advantage of this, though, so a lot of times I get asked, hey, Josh, what do I want to join the Long Island CW Club, or I want to do some kind of code oscillation practice for transmitting. This works fine for that, actually. So it's got the input. It's got an output to a speaker. You could connect this to some kind of audio interface for a computer or whatever, and it just works, right? It works with your paddle just fine. So it's a simple oscillator, right? So throw any one of your keys on there. It doesn't matter if you want to use straight keys or not. So let me pull a straight key out. Oh, it's not in straight key mode. What happened there? I don't know how to get it to. It has instructions on the back. Straight key, mono plug, sleeve to tip, stereo plug, sleeve, connection, tip the ring. Okay. Wait. Okay. Oh, well, you'll have to figure out how to do it with a straight key. I don't ever use this with a straight key. Anyway, okay. This is available on the QRP Guys website. It's really straightforward. What paddle am I using? I'll show you my paddle. This is a Radio Adventures Gear iambic paddle. It is reminiscent of the Palm, not the Pico, the Palm paddle. The only downside to this key is It is not, you cannot remove the wire. The wire is permanently affixed, which I am not a big fan of. So you have a super long, well, not really super long, but you have a long piece of wire no matter where you go. Yeah, the wire is built into the paddle piece, and then the paddle retracts into this little case. It has no magnets in the bottom. Oh, no, it does have, excuse me. It has one magnet in the bottom and 2 holes. This mounting plate is removable with a little hex key for adjusting the precision or the distance between connection on the Iambic dits and daws. The holes are countersunk so that you could hypothetically, hold on, let me grab a radio. I don't know that you would do this necessarily. I guess you would. You could if you wanted to. It may not be the mountain topper, but you could hypothetically take a mountain topper and you got a screw right there or a screw somewhere like that. You could mount this physically so that you would just sidecar this. Ideally, it would be positioned more like that. Would be a lot better, but hey, it is what it is. The key to reference, by the way, this is not exactly a cheap key. It's not really expensive. It feels really good, though. It's got nice action. The competitor is probably the wrong term, but a similar key is what Adam K6A... That goes to that guy. Go there. The Adam that K6ARK is making is a... This is a copy dimensionally to the Pompico paddle. Pompico went out of business a while back, and they took their wonderful keys with them, and now we don't have a way to get this super cool, super tiny key. Adam's making a version of it. It's not exactly the same, but it's really nice because it's really inexpensive because it's all 3D printed. Same idea, though. It's got this little hinged plate that comes off, and this is set correctly for the 4-band mountain topper. The 3-bander, not so much, but the 4-bander, it positions it a little bit more forward, and it's a countersunk hole as well with a lot of magnets. This is a good little project, and you can side mount it and do whatever you want. Adam will be back on the live stream in the future to talk about some of the things he's working on, including this. So, bit of an off ramp or a little exploring the space, if you will, of some new stuff. All right, the Morsel 32. This was, I believe it started out as a Kickstarter. I got in way early on this guy, and it's super cool. It is a practice aid. It is a keyer, so you can connect your key, and it can go into your radio. And it also has LoRa built into this. And specifically, the LoRa transmitter is for talking over or communicating between other Morserinos with Morse code. It's not a big thing. There's not a lot of people doing this. The folks at the Long Island CW Club do this. This will connect to Wi-Fi, your home Wi-Fi, and then connect to other Morserinos via the same network protocol. I'm not completely sure what they're using. I'm not sure how they exactly do it because I haven't explored it yet. But you can go to the website and it talks a little bit more about it, or you can ask the folks at the Long Island CW Club. I run this with a... If you want, by the way, I have a video on building this. You can go pull that up. I run these off of RC batteries, tiny RC batteries, and they last an extremely long time. I use these little 220 milliamp hour batteries here to run this, and I charge one up, leave it in there for a couple of months, and that's all I need to do, really. We don't need the antenna for what we're going to show today, but yeah. By the way, I'll take a little break in the action to remind everybody, if you're not doing anything tonight, come on over to the Discord after chat. We'll be hanging out, talking ham radio. Okay, so this runs off of I believe it's a PIC processor and logic board. It's got a nice little screen on it. We'll start it up. So this is I believe this is an older firmware release. They have newer firmware out there now, but because I got the first gen, the firmware upgrade process on this guy is a little bit cumbersome. So just keep in mind, there are some variations here, but we'll go through some of the features and we can talk about it. Or if you ask questions, I'll see them in the chat. Speaking of which, let me take a moment here to take a look. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to drop the 6. It's just Kark. All right, K6ARK. All right. By the way, if you at Ham Radio Crash Course, I'll see it in the chat and I'll be able to answer your question. So if we go to there we go. Okay. So you've got a couple of things this does. It has a CW keyer, as I mentioned. Are you seeing that okay? You are. Okay, good. CW keyer, as I mentioned. A CW generator. An echo trainer, which is generally what I use. A Koch trainer. This would be what you would use if you were starting out in Morse code. And it's got the transceiver mode for LoRa. And a CW decoder, which, oddly enough, I haven't tried this. We may test this out, maybe, if we've got any activity on the KX2. And it's got a go-to-sleep function, of course. Anyway, let's take a look at this. So this is set to 14 words per minute, which I can adjust. I will plug in a speaker so you hear it a little bit better, but the speaker is... No, that's not what I wanted. Okay, now you get the idea. Let me plug it into a speaker. Come on. Wow, that's really quiet. Trash. Okay. Do I have this on a full... There we go. That was it. So that's max volume. Morseino 32, the link is in the description for this. So, all right. So here's the example. I'll move my mic a little bit so you can hear a little bit better. But this is just going to be whatever you're sending. Okay. All right. So that's a... Come on. There we go. That's the CW keyer. CW generator, random, CW abbreviations, English words, call signs. Yes, buddy, call signs. Now you're thinking to yourself, hey, it's telling me what the call signs are. It's showing me what it is. Yes, that's true. Don't worry. I'll show you how they can get around that in a second. There's another mode that I use. J. Rangel. Yes, sir. So this is a multifunction CW2 tool for a decoder and trainer. Yeah, this is kind of all the things. Okay. Again, CW generator is going to do mixed file player. You can load files on this. This is a USB device. Random, CW abbreviations, English words, etc. And it'll generate them that way. Okay, the echo trainer is what I use most often, and let me give you an example of this. So I'm going to go with English words. Okay. That's what it does. I wasn't listening. What was that? One more time, please. What? Oh, house. Sorry. So there is some assembly with this device. You get the idea. So, okay. It'll do call signs as well. Yeah, Horatio, it has the capability to decode, but you don't need to use that for this. Sorry for the glare. Is that better? Much better. Anyway, you get the idea. Okay. One more. Go back up. Koch trainer. Okay, so the Koch trainer is under Koch trainer. You have CW generator, echo trainer, select lesson, learn new character, character generator. So let's go to learn new character. Whoops. Nope. I slipped off. Okay. Probably not a character you were expecting to see. I have no idea what it's doing right now. Playing some Morse code. Okay, let's get out of here for a second. So let's go back up to here. All right. Let's grab the key. I think I have to restart it for this to work correctly. In fact, I'm pretty sure I have to do that. Let's go ahead and restart. No, I don't have LoRa connected right now to this, but it does LoRa. I highly recommend the Echo Trainer. What's going on here, bud? Okay, well, apparently mine's dead on that right now. Bummer. Okay, well, CW keyer, it knows what you're doing. Okay. Wrong port. That's the key port. What? Nope. It's literally the paddles. That's literally paddles. Look. Look it. See, it's just like old time live stream. See the paddles? That's a logo for literally look. Anyway, okay. If I had, I think I do have we might be able to feed some audio in here. I'll come back here in a second. If we've got time at the end of the show, we'll try and pipe some audio in here for decoding. In fact, let's do that. I'll leave it on decode. All right. Leave that alone for a second. Okay, let's come back over here. Yeah, so Levy, it's not just about, yes, it will do LoRa transmitting if you've got a couple of miles away, but it will also connect to your network via Wi-Fi. I appreciate this is outside of LoRa. And you can do a Wi-Fi connection over the network to other Morserinos, which is kind of cool. All right, hold on, let me grab something. All right. I hope you grabbed your notebooks, your pens, your pencils, and all that stuff, because they're going to play a little G4FON. At least I'm going to show you how to run the application. This is, again, free application. Your Pentium 1, your 386, you don't even have to hit the turbo button. And I know the turbo button doesn't make your computer faster, but I'm going to show you how to run G4FON. Free application, works really well, and I'll show you what I do to set it up, and then you can do whatever you'd like from that point. Okay, so this is the main screen for G4FON. I do go in here and go to, let me pull it up, y'all. Under settings, which you cannot see, let me add a window here really fast so you can see the settings. All right, here's the settings window when you click on settings. So I leave mine to 2-minute sessions in length. At least that's what we're going to run right now. You don't have to do that, though. You can set it to 5 minutes, 6 minutes, whatever. Don't really need to mess with anything else. I have all the characters selected. If you want to define a word list, you can. I have all words turned on. Now, if you're doing the Koch method, then you may want to deselect some of these, right? Like a lot of folks, literally it starts in this order, KMRSUA. That's the most common way I've seen it done. I know there are other ways, but K and M at least are the ones I started with when I was learning Morse code. So that's how you do that. All right, so display delay I have set to hide display. Let me get rid of this so you can see that. So off of the settings window. Under display delay, I have hide set. If I don't have hide set, what's going to happen is if I have the delay for 0, for instance, and I go to words right here, and I do 100 common words, right, under words, you should now be hearing Morse code. Right? So it's just going to give you a word from the most common words. You get the idea, I think. Okay, so if you instead go to display delay here at the top, you know what I'm going to do, because this is bothering me? I think I'm going to make a little change here. A little live change. I forgot how frustrating sometimes doing demonstrations on OBS is. So live change, booyah. Let's flip that over here. Okay, so here's G4FON again. Okay, so under display up here, display delay, if you go to hide, what that's going to do is it's going to run for the duration that you set in the settings. In my case, I set it to 2 minutes, and you're going to start the play. It'll run for 2 minutes, and then there you go. That's what it'll do. And it'll look something like this. Oh, that's on. That's kind of fast. get the idea. Now when I hit stop, boom. So that'll be all the things that it played out. That's kind of a mess though, right? So what are we going to do? All right. So if everybody's got your pen and paper ready, what we're going to do is you're going to set the actual speed to 20 words per minute and the effective speed to 10 words per minute about to get started. If you want to speed that up to 15, you can. Basically what this is doing is it's giving you the characters at 20 words per minute, but it's giving you some more spacing so that your brain can kind of process what you're hearing. The idea, though, is, as I've talked about, we don't really want to lower the speed. Anything below 15 words per minute for the characters, ideally 20 is where you want to be, and this tool won't even go under 15. So, do you have the speed set? So David asked, do you have speed set per character or per word? Yeah, so hopefully that makes sense. You're going to use actual speed of 20 words per minute. And then to start, again, if you're a beginner, set it to 10 words per minute. If you find that that's too slow, or you're actually copying like everything, bump that up to 15 or 12, 17, something like that, and try it out. So who's ready? So everybody we're going to run this for 2 minutes, and we'll see in the chat. I'll actually hide this. We're going to run it for 2 minutes. Everybody take your pen and paper or notepad. Here, pull up notepad because you're all on computers, right? Or some of you are. It's going to be words 100. So we're going to do the 100 common words on text. We're going to run it for 2 minutes. Copy that all down and then paste it in the chat. I'm going to hide this, though. I'm going to go away from this. So we're going to start it up, and then I'm going to move it away. I'm going to move it away so you won't be able to see the answers when the 2 minutes are up. I'll wait for your chats. So let's go. Thirty more seconds. Oh, that was a lot of words, actually. 2 minutes might be a little long. Just drop the words that you got in the chat if you got some of them. That seems fast on the general setup screen is set for word or character. On the general setup screen. No, it depends on which version you have. Drew Sanford says, "Oh man, I copied all of that and then my computer crashed." Would one. Well, I'll just pull it up. Here you go. There it is. Okay. Robert got it. He definitely got it. That was a lot of that. You got more right than you got wrong. That's for sure, Robert. Okay. So basically, how I use this. Oh, somebody's comment got filtered? I don't think so. TX Fisher, I see you there, bud. Basically, the way you'd use this is you can do the words. There's a 1,000 list, a 100 list. What I like to do is the call signs, and so I'll drop this down to 0 so that we're actually just showing them immediately. So if you don't like the 10, let's see. Let's go to 5 words per minute so you can see the difference. Air Pigeon Man, is that louder for you? There you go. So the idea behind it is that you want to keep your character speed, the speed at which the characters send, high, but you want to add the Farnsworth spacing. Pigeon Man. Let's see. And that's what that allows you to do. The effective speed, by lowering that, you're increasing the spacing, but you're leaving the 20 words per minute the same. So you're adding space in there for Farnsworth, which is what you want. There is no particular, I mean, you can go into, delay, Morse characters, numbers to include. Hey, what's that? Wait a second. Random selection. No, we don't want to do that. Yeah, it's a very straightforward program. No, it's John Brass. Okay, I'll explain this again. This will be the third time. You're not slowing down the characters. The characters are given to you at 20 words per minute. You want them to be received at 20 words per minute. The effective speed, 5 words per minute, means you're increasing the spacing between the characters to give your brain enough time to copy what you heard. You're not actually reducing the speed of the character. You don't want to do that. It's the spacing. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, before we go to Learn CW Online, I do want to show you this wackadoo program that I found. So here's this other one. This is pretty wild. Okay, so the goal of this, and I don't think I can make this any bigger. No, it's a very simple program. Okay, so the initial CPM speed, character per minute, is 151. Okay, so it goes up if you copy the call sign. I'm not going to be able to do this, but we may be able to workshop it. So get ready. I am KI6NAZ. Sure, 151. I got a did it at the end there. So I think it's an F. I think it ends in an F. Anybody else got any of that? And so, yeah, it was still high. That was good. W6AF. Is it W6AF? There's no way. Let's see. It was. You got it. So now it goes up. It's sweet. All right, Pat, you're the pro. You're the ringer in the room. Did you get that last one? I can hit F6 and it'll replay, but we take a penalty. It doesn't matter. We're just having fun. You ready? It was dotted it at the end. Something D. Pat. KA3D. You. All right, I was talking over that. Pat's the man. We're gonna have Pat on the show. Have him run this. Man, it's gone up now. What is the speed? Yeah, seriously. DF7 PM. Let's see if Pat got it. DF7 PM. He did get it. Nailed it, Pat. Pat's good at this. My software decoder agreed. Anyway, so you get the idea. This is that what is this? This is that Ruffs. Let me go back to the website so you can see it here. This Ruffs XP. This Ruffs XP link is I'm gonna drop it in the chat right now for you guys. This is a competition. It's literally a competition software that it just keeps speeding up until you get to the point that you can or cannot copy it. And as you, there was like, where's the blog? I just saw this. Let me go back here for a second. Yeah, check this out. Giannis Scutaro, 10-year-old, proved speed 1061 CPM, which is equal to 212 word per minute under supervision of the referees. This young man just did 212 words per minute direct copy with this software. This is literally what these guys do. They just like try to ramp up their speed to like ridiculous levels, which is super cool. Yow, dude, 212 words per minute. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyway, I love it. I think this is super cool. Okay, let's do the last thing. The last thing here is, let me log in so that, of course, it didn't remember my login, so that's nice. All right. Learn CW online. Oh, wait, did I just do that online? Good. You saw my my username, so that's fun. Doesn't matter. I only use it here. Anyway, the Learn CW online user page, there is somebody was just transmitting. We may have to be ready at any moment to jump over and see if we can copy with the KX3 into the Morsel. Anyway, Learn CW online. This is actually what Sterling used when he was doing his live videos, walking through learning Morse code. So I would highly recommend you go check out Sterling's video on this. You don't need to necessarily follow my words. And he went through many days of doing this. But we will do one lesson here. So let's go ahead and go into the lesson. Basically, we're under Koch CW method. We are, let's see, what are we doing? We've learned K, M, U, R, and E. This is just an example. And we are going to listen to the character E. Again, this is after you make an account. You go in here and do this. Dit. 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 That's 34 seconds of dits. That's pretty good. Okay. The practice, however, is, let's see. So you play that, you hit play and pause, and then you click on this little box on the left, and can we embiggen this? Oh, look at this. Oh, very, very nice. This is some web. Yeah, that's what I want. I want it just like that. Just like that. Web 2.0 stuff right here. Anyway, let's hit play. Okay, that's it. I think. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so yeah, you just type the characters as they come. You do the check result. Boop, boop, boop. I got everything right. Yay! I'm a good boy. So that means I can increase to the next character, right? So that's what this is doing. Learn CW Online, a fantastic little tool. I really like Learn CW Online. I don't really use it because, to be honest with you, I don't get in front of the computer to practice Morse code that often. Believe it or not, the thing I do more than anything is get in front of my radio and put that on Echo Trainer on the Morsel and just have fun with it. I really like the Morsel actually for the Echo Trainer. Oh, and when I'm walking a dog, I cannot tell you guys enough. If you got a dog, you go on walkies. You take your doggies on walkies. Put some earbuds in and just listen to Morse Code Ninja. Whether it's the 100 words at whatever character speed you're doing. I'm doing 15 words per minute. Call signs, specifically call signs. That's been my jam for the last couple of weeks now. Just listening to 15 words, and I'm going to bump it up to 20 here shortly. Robert Varner. Yeah, I don't imagine you can walk a cat and effectively listen to Morse code, but I don't know. You could prove me wrong on that one. Maybe. Yeah. So, all right. So any questions before we wrap things up? By the way, please join us over on the Discord. That's probably the best way to ask us questions and have fun with that, because that's where we get all of our cool stuff done. We get all of our ham radio questions answered because it's more of a one-on-one talky bit and all that fun stuff. So make sure to take the link in the description and join us over there. Doing dishes is another good time. Yeah, anywhere you listen to a podcast, it's the same kind of thing. You just listen to Morse Code Ninja and get some practice in that way. I think they should have a listen to soda spots. So, Don, I agree with you, N5SKT. And anything involving soda chasing, POTA chasing, anything like that is absolutely great practice for Morse code and highly recommended. It also makes you a lot more proficient when you actually start copying people. So, I agree with you there, Don. I'm going to hang out for a couple of minutes. Oh, Don. The other Don. Part of the Don army. Sorry, Don, you missed it. No big deal, bud. Head copy versus paper. Razor. Okay, Razor. I'm gonna take some questions. So I'm gonna grab I have another beer I wanted to show you all, but I'm gonna grab it and I'll hang out for questions. So along with this bunny and a chainsaw beer that we stumbled on today at the Trader Joe's, I found Japanese green tea IPA from Stone Brewery. Japanese green tea IPA. I don't know how this could be any good, but we're gonna try it. Okay. Razor. There are some folks, who can go just straight into head copy. They can just straight up go into head copy. They can have conversations. They can see words in their head, all that stuff. There's plenty of people, not a lot. There are some who can do that. And I would argue that's probably the best way to go. I cannot. Most people I know cannot do that. So we're stuck with writing it down until we get to the point that we start copying words better. That's not necessarily something that most people have at their disposal, particularly starting out with Morse code. It's just not a thing. If you can, kudos to you. By the way, Howard, Long Island CW Club again. Howard, one of the primary classes he does is teaching head copy and how to do it. And they have a very interesting way to teach people head copy. It's way beyond me. I have no ability in this area, but I really like what they're doing. So again, I support the whole thing. All right. Evan, is that one of those beers that tastes worse with every sip? I don't know. We're going to find out. It's not bad. So I was thinking to myself, they call it green tea, but it's entirely possible this is made with matcha, which if it's made with matcha, I could see how this could work. Yeah, Razor0901 to answer your follow-up question. Wrong one. Hey, Don. Hey, Don, indeed. Yeah, just do paper. Again, the thing you're trying to avoid doing is counting dits and daws. You're trying to avoid hearing dit, daw, dit, daw, dit, and you're trying to get to a place where you're just hearing R, right? That's what you want to do. So that's what you should focus on. It has a slight matcha taste at the end, which for some people, matcha is a bit fishy. Oh my gosh, it's happening, guys. Somebody is... Okay, hold on. Is somebody transmitting? Somebody was just transmitting CW right now. Yes! Somebody's in there. So if I do... I think I go phones into Morsel. Is it just working? Is this happening right now? Like you can... What? Okay, hold on. Stick with me here. I'm going to disconnect this. Get that in there. Speaker. I don't know how good this was, though. That doesn't look very good to me. Okay, that's FT8. Probably going to have to go to 70. Up 40 meters, I mean. Well, the decoder on the KX2 is working. Just not so much. What happened here? This guy. Come on, bud. Get in the game. Oh. God. Weren't you able to just crank up the words per minute? Oh, well. Guess the decoder doesn't work that well. This guy's way faster than 12 words per minute, though. That's the problem. Oh, well. Oh, maybe noise floor. Could be noise floor. All right. We'll leave it at that. All right, everybody. I'm going to wrap things up here. This was a Patrons Picks episode. Appreciate all the patrons supporting, basically supporting my channel. Appreciate it. The newsletter went out last week. This week. This is still this week, so it went out this week. So hopefully you enjoyed that if you're supporting on Patreon. And thanks so much for everybody over on the Patreon voting for this topic. This stream was recommended or requested by the patrons, and we've got another, I don't know, 30 or so on the list to vote on, and there always seems to be more because they're the ones that recommend them. So if you didn't like this, then join the patron team, and then you get to vote on what we should do in the next one. Anyway, I'm going to head over to the Discord here in a little bit. I hope you do join me over there. I'll be live streaming to Twitch. You can find me at the Ham Radio Crash Course on Twitch, and we'll be doing the same kind of thing, video as well, but we'll have a ton of people in the room because we'll all be chatting over Discord. So link is in the description. Check out 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now is going to be a giveaway weekend where I will be giving away a ton of stuff that I've been just hanging on to for the last couple of months that I've gotten as part of other things, or a lot of those antennas that I reviewed, those telescoping antennas among other antennas that I purchased. If you're looking for an HT antenna, you might want to consider joining us over in the Discord and keeping an eye on the giveaways chat, because I'm going to give away a lot of them over there. We'll do it live on the stream, but we use the Discord to pick the winner. So make sure you join us over on that side. And while you're there, you might as well just stop by and say hi in the after chat. All right, guys, I will say thank you very much again to the patrons. You guys make a lot of this happen, like buying the Morsel, I think, was directly I think actually someone from the Patreon, and this was a while ago, right? I think I've had that Morsel for well over a year now, 2 years now that I'm thinking about it, because that's a first gen. That's an old boy. And I think it was recommended to me by someone over on Patreon. They're like, hey, you should get one of these and do a review on it. I did the assembly video and all that stuff, and we walked through all the different features. But now they've got new firmware versions, and they actually have a design revision change on it, which is, pretty good. I think they've added some enhancements. So pretty cool. Anyway, thank you, everybody on the Patreon. I do appreciate it. And I am waiting for an Amazon package too. An important Amazon. Ooh. Yeah, I don't know about this beer. It's got a weird taste with the IPA. I think I'm going to go back to the bunny, the chainsaw bunny. I think that was a better job. That's what the app does when you're trying to close it. Pink beer? It's not pink. The can is pink, Robert. Robert, the can is pink, but the beer is not pink. It's regular pink. Speaking of the Brew Crew, thank you so much. All right. Thanks again, everybody, for watching. I'm going to play out with the memes, the wonderful memes that everybody on the Discord made. All the memes come from the Discord, but this was a theme night. So thank you, everybody, that submitted your memes, and I'll play you out. See you over on the Discord and on Twitch, 73. Did I get no comments on my sweet Game Boy? I didn't see anybody comment on how sweet my Game Boy's looking. It's on the deck here because I just loaded a backlight kit onto it. Freaking awesome Game Boy, dude. You got a cool Game Boy, bro. chat. Not one person. Man. Not one person noticed the Game Boy. How could you miss it? I'm going to show it right now. How could you miss this? It was literally in shot for like a ton of the show. How could you miss it? All right, everybody. See you on the Discord.